Welcome to Northwest Aerospace News Live. I am Jennifer Ferrero, a writer for the magazine and your host. In today's episode, we are talking with Ray Elledge of Verisurf, 3D metrology software. They offer model-based inspection and measurement software. Ray focuses specifically on software in educational environments. Let's welcome today's guest, Ray. Welcome.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Ray. Thank you so much for coming on this show. Well, let's start with the basics. What is metrology and why is it important to measure?
Well, thank you. Pleasure to be here. Metrology is the science of measurement. It dates back to 2900 BC with the Egyptians building the pyramids. It actually is the first U.S. government department that was created in the U.S., which was weights and measures. They had to confirm and determine what a foot is and what an ounce is for a gold coin and silver coin. And then it gets into a few more disciplines of scientific and legal and then actually industrial applications. The scientific aspect is determining the numbers. The legal aspect is for law, and then the industrial aspect is where we actually apply all of that and do measurements. Now, we're involved in dimensional metrology. There's other sciences of metrology, which is time, which is lighting, which is electricity, which is mass, which is volume, and a number of other disciplines, if you will. But we're in dimensional metrology, length measurement, 3-axis, X, Y, and Z. Determinations in coordinate systems, which is a derivative of a CAD, and that's how we work with right-hand coordinate systems. And so to work in the discipline of dimensional metrology, length is everything. We determine what an inch is, what a millimeter is. We can take 1 inch and break that into 1,000 points, and we can take those 1,000 and break those into another 1,000. So to give you an idea, we work with some very close tolerances in the dimensional space.
Well, Ray, on your website, you have solutions that include application suites, software models, hardware services. Can you briefly describe what each solution does and why it's important?
Yes, happy to. We do a number of different things, and I support the education space. And we have the education space to support our industrial customers. And that's the whole purpose of having our education space, is to support our industrial customers with a pathway for students and persons to enter the workforce, understanding the process, procedures, and how we go about measuring, inspecting, and reverse engineering things. And so as part of that, educators have a real benefit here because we provide the entire software solution for educators. And there's 5 primary modules that we provide to educators. That's automate, that's measure, that's build, that's analysis, and that's reverse. And that's all CAD-based. We're a CAD-based software company. We're very unique. We're very simple to use, but we are extremely powerful to use. So working from a CAD platform, we're part of what's called the digital thread in advanced manufacturing. And advanced manufacturing consists of many things, but part of that digital thread is reverse engineering on the front end, design, which is CAD, either 3D print it or CNC machine it, and then you have to inspect it when you're done, which is either quality control and quality assurance components. So the software that we provide, for instance, our automate module, allows you to drive and control joystick machines with joysticks, if you will, robots, CNCs, automated CNCs, motorized CNCs. Our next module is measure, so you can measure things and determine if they're in or out of tolerance. And we do that in real time by comparing the CAD model to the part in real time. So for instance, I'm not sure if you can see this well, Jennifer. However, to measure something like this, how are you going to go about doing that? To confirm all of those holes, slots, features are exactly where they are supposed to be. When you get 1,000 parts coming from 1,000 different directions to assemble an aircraft or a car, it all has to be precise. It has to fit right the first time. How do you do that? Well, that's where we come in. We provide the measurement science, the skills, the abilities, the software, and the hardware to make this happen. And it's all part of the digital thread. We're on the front end for reverse engineering. We're on the back end for inspection and measurement.
Okay, Ray, if I might ask a follow-up question then. So you're targeting students in schools, and we'll talk more about the schools here in just a minute regarding the grade levels. But what I'm wondering just broadly is how receptive are students in schools today to learning this software and getting into the technology?
Students love our software. They absolutely love our software. It's CAD based, it's hands-on, and that's really the critical component here that makes it all work, is being able to be hands-on with the software, with the hardware, as the picture shows here, to be able to inspect and measure parts in real time. So as he's inspecting that part there, you can actually see the instrument doing and touching the physical part in real time. And at the same time, it tells us if it's good or bad. And then we can generate a report and send it. So students these days, they want to be hands-on. As we have found, and as my customers tell us, I strictly work with schools, colleges, and universities across the US and around the world. And as a result of COVID, students want to be hands-on with the equipment and with the software. And that's probably the most defining factor here, is for the pathways for students. We get calls every week from our industrial customers looking for entry-level, semi-skilled, and skilled operators, technicians, application engineers, quality control engineers using Verisurf to accomplish what they need to accomplish. Our customers are screaming, there's so much work out there. There's so many jobs out there. There are well-paying jobs out there that are unfilled, completely unfilled. So my job is to help schools bring in this equipment, provide the skilled training, create the pathways to fill these jobs.
Great. So let me understand then, your customers are school districts, is that correct?
My customers are school districts. Those school districts support their local industry with pathways for students. And it could be our customers, our industrial customers, range from Boeing to SpaceX, from Haas Formula One to the US Navy. They all need skilled people, manufacturing, advanced manufacturing. And this is good work. It's clean, it's nice, it's exciting, and it's modern, it's advanced, it's computers, it's hardware, it's gadgets. I mean, we're gadget guys. And so we enjoy this thing, and it's a great career opportunity. Women, I encourage everybody to get involved in this. It's a lifetime. It's a good work, and we're creating pathways for our industrial customers to hire these students and these people.
Great. Well, I appreciate that. And I love your enthusiasm. It makes me want to go right into a factory and do this kind of work myself. Now, Ray, if you're working to reach schools, what grade levels do you deal with as you're talking about these pathways, and how do the needs differ for each grade level or school district?
Well, it's schools, colleges, and universities. The main thrust here is community colleges, career centers. That's the big part of our market. But more and more high schools are getting back in like they were when I went through high school. When I went through high school, I had power mechanics, composites, drafting, which is now CAD. We had electronics and machine shop and power mechanics, if I said that. So high schools are getting back in again because, as we know, manufacturing supports the economy. Every manufacturing job supports 5 service industry jobs. And so the schools need to expand and reintroduce these skill levels into their curriculum, into their offerings at the high school level. And we're seeing more and more high schools spending the money, making the investment, providing these students pathways. When they get out of high school, they can go right to work. And a lot of them do. Not too many go on to college. Not too many finish college. So the exposure, contacting these people, getting the budgets, making the proposals, getting the grants, applying the grants, spending the money, installing the equipment, training the people. It's a process.
Well, I understand that it is a process, and I know that there has been a resurgence in career and technical education, which sort of those terms took the place of that machine shop back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s that we're thinking about. But so it sounds like there's a lot going on right now, but because it is a long process, there still are workforce challenges for manufacturers, as you mentioned. What are some solutions to help develop skill sets for the next generation to bring them into manufacturing?
Well, exposure is key, and letting the students understand what's out there and what's available for them. Hands-on is the ticket. Having workstations at the schools where students can apply themselves, learn the skills, learn what it takes, understanding how it's done, how it's applied, and then from that, the pathway gets them into these industrial and advanced manufacturing organizations where they are essentially set up for life. And so a Verisurf lab, for instance, will be 10 student workstations and an instructor workstation. And they can do our online training with video. They can download software because we have student versions of software they can practice at home for self-paced study. So we have all these tools, free, a lot of them, that are there for the taking, and it continues to be a challenge for schools to absorb, to introduce, to apply, and to build it into their curriculums. And it's with the reshoring that's going on, with the manufacturing that's coming back home, with the advanced manufacturing, lights out manufacturing. It's integral that we have our young workforce and our veterans transitioning to the civilian workforce to pick up these skills and apply them. It's good work, it's a career, and it's something that can be really proud of, and it's fulfilling.
Wonderful. Now, one of the things I'd like to just confirm as we're getting close to ending the show here today is that once the students learn the Verisurf software, they learn the metrology software, and they start to understand that, when they get into industry, then they'll already understand that, and you have industry partners that are running the software in their environments. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. We have a number of success stories. We have one school down in Arizona. They have 300 students taking CAD, taking machine shop, and taking Verisurf inspection. We have a number of large Fortune 500 companies who have set up manufacturing plants, assembling cars and planes and rockets and missiles and boats and ships, where the schools next to them have set up classrooms to support the local industry. And that's what it's about. It's the schools to support the local industry, the pathways, the careers, and we provide it all. There's certified programs that we have that we're introducing to the schools. It's sort of we've been around for a long time, 25 years. And this is a new thing that's just coming out. And so we do what we can. I do what I can to bring this into the schools, introduce it to the workforce, and ultimately support our industrial customers. That's what it's about, supporting our industrial customers with this pathway.
Well, Ray, I greatly appreciate you painting a picture for us of the total program when we're talking about the students and the industry and how the software works. This has been very helpful for me, and I'm sure it will be for our listeners as well. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, dimensional metrology, the field of quality control, it's a good life, it's good work, it's good pay, it's a career position. Verisurf makes it so easy, it's so strong, it's so powerful, and everybody should get involved with it.
Well, Ray, thank you so much for coming to the show today. And if you're interested in learning more about Verisurf, check out verisurf.com. And until next time, keep engaging with the manufacturing and aerospace news you need to know in the Northwest with Northwest Aerospace News Magazine. Goodbye.